What is happening, everybody? Trey here, joined as always by my dad, Sean. And today, at Reactions to the Classics, we're going to be doing a full album reaction to Crowded House and their album Together Alone. This comes courtesy of our one of our main dudes here at the channel, our patron Alan.
Thank you, Alan.
And looking forward to diving into this this group. Don't really know anything besides their like biggest hit or two. So diving into this record is going to be fun. Before we get to the actual reaction, though, we just have a some upfront info on Crowded House if you're not familiar with them, and then the album itself, and then we'll get rocking with the record.
Yeah, sounds good. And also, before I even get started on that, please give this a big thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet. We got stuff coming up every single day. Also, if you like to help us out or see some of the good perks we have for our patrons, check out our Patreon page below. Yeah, Trey, we're going to do just a little. Crowded House, was never big in the States here where we are. I do know there are two big songs. Obviously, Don't Dream It's Over.
I know that one, yeah.
And Something So Strong. I know those two, and then they just kind of disappeared from America. But they're a rock band formed in Melbourne, Australia in '85. Its founding members, we got a New Zealander and Neil Finn. He was the vocalist, guitarist, primary songwriter, and then Australian Paul Hester was on the drums, Nick Seymour on the bass. Finn and Hester were both former members of the New Zealand band Split Enz, which we've checked out a couple of their songs.
That's right, yeah. I think from Alan, he's suggested some of them for us. So.
On the live streams we do on Friday nights. Neil's the younger brother of Split Enz founder Tim Finn, so that's how they got in there. But Tim later joined Crowded House in 1990. So, hey, I'm going to join your band, brother, and I'm going to have a successful band. You join my band. That's what it's all about. Later band members included Americans Mark Hart and Matt Sherrod. So Neil, Finn, and Seymour have been the sole constant members of the group since its formation.
Yeah, kind of always like hearing the backstory.
Yeah, kind of got to know, because I think a lot of people that watch this might not know them besides those biggest hits.
And
like
they were active for a little over a decade, 85 to 96. They had some commercial and critical success in Australia and New Zealand, which you would kind of expect. But international chart success kind of came in two different phases. They had the self-titled debut album, which actually reached all the way up to number 12.
And those had the songs that I knew back in '87. 16-year-old Sean knew those.
That's right, and both of those were top 10 hits.
Yes.
Don't Dream It's Over and Something So Strong. Some further international success came in the UK, Europe, South Africa with their third and fourth albums, Woodface and this record Together Alone.
Yeah, which didn't hit at all here in the States. Unfortunately, in 2005, Hester died by suicide. He's only 46. In 2006, though, they decided to reform the group. That's when they brought in Matt Sherrard and released two further albums in 2007 and 2010. Each of which reached number one on the Australia's album chart.
Yeah, so it's always interesting to see where some of the groups are just huge, in different parts of the world where you you would expect them to be big in Australia since they're from there, but they got the numbers to back it up.
Yeah, and this was their fourth studio album, released in October of '93. Unlike their first three albums, which were recorded in the U.S. and Australia and produced by Mitchell Froome, Together Alone was recorded in New Zealand with a producer named Youth. This is crazy to me, but in Australia and New Zealand, 7 singles were released from this, which you just don't get.
So half the album.
Half the album. Topped the chart in New Zealand, number 2 in Australia, number 4 in the UK. So I don't know why it didn't come across the pond, but it just didn't.
And this was actually mainly recorded at Neil Finn's friend's house at Kari Kari Beach.
Yes, in New Zealand.
So, and that's actually the first track.
Yes, it is
named after that. Hopefully, we're pronouncing that right.
We're doing the best we can.
Give these Texas boys, a break. But it also had additional recording in Melbourne at both Periscope and Platinum Studios. The album, as I mentioned, the opening track was Kari Kari. Paul Hester said, "We flew in Youth and an engineer called Greg Hunter straight off the streets of Brixton to Kari Kari Beach, New Zealand. Miles from anywhere, no shops, no nothing. They were in shock for days, didn't know where the F they were." So,
I think that's the way to make an album, right? You isolate yourself and there's nothing else to do. We've had Radiohead go to a 17th century mansion. We've had the Stones go to a mansion in France. You got people, get out of the way, man. There's no other distraction. Usually it turns out well. All Music noted the album is more experimental and musically varied than any of their previous releases, and cited the addition of Mark Hart, this is his first one that he's on, to the band's lineup, and new producer Youth is the reasons for this. Album features more complex layered guitar and keyboard arrangement than on Crowded House's previous works. Tell us about the album cover, Trey, and let's jump into this bad boy.
Yeah, we got Nick Seymour. I always like when members of the group have a hand in the artistic direction. He actually created this album cover, has that red car, maybe it's a taxi, and interestingly enough, it kind of strikes you. It has Jesus, a golden figure, and then a third occupant in the back of the car, of whom only an arm with the striped shirt is visible. So the car is kind of surrounded by this golden halo and fluffy dice.
Gotta have the dice, man. Even if Jesus is riding a shotgun.
So a little bit of a unique album cover there.
For sure.
We'll get now into the track by track. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm just going to say from the jump, we're going to take the music out because more often than not,
it gets blocked.
Yeah, when you do an entire record in one video, it's more likely to get blocked. But you can check out the link down below where we have it hosted on another site in full if you want to check that out. And if you just want to see our reactions, you're already familiar with the tunes, you can just keep it rocking here.
Exactly. All tracks were written by Neil Finn, except where we note the first one, Kari Kari, was actually written by all of them, Finn, Hart, Seymour, and Hester. Not a lot of lyrics on there. It features a New Zealand choir and log drummers.
All right.
Trey, I am not a good dude at pronouncing foreign. I'm going to say Maori choir. I probably butchered that. Forgive me, New Zealand and Australians. I'm sorry, but that's what you're hearing in the background. I've never heard any of this album, but I did all the research, so I thought I'd point that out.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to this. Make a comment here or there, but save the meat of our reaction to the end. We're going to have the lyrics pulled up. Always important for us to follow along with that. See what these guys are saying. Looking forward to this. Thanks, Alan. Let's get into this first track. And I'm kind of liking the ambiance atmosphere that we're setting here, as I noted a little bit in the song itself. That slide guitar was subtle, but it added a good texture to the track. A pretty low key, kind of quiet voice in there too.
Yeah,
just I don't know, man. It just had a good atmosphere.
Had a good vibe to it. I thought the closing, the instrumental outro, was over a minute long, or around a minute. But he kind of whispered over it. It was an interesting musicianship there to do that, but it worked.
Yeah,
it wouldn't work.
I agree.
It's because it was subtle and like chilled that worked. You could kind of whisper us out.
Well, because I was looking for that choir, that we read in there. It was very...
It's very...
very subtle.
It's very subtle. Everything was subtle. but I liked it. It's a good way to start an album.
For sure.
That's going to bring us to In My Command. I don't have any notes on. There's a lot of these songs there wasn't many notes on. So written by Neil by himself. And
all right.
We'll just kind of check this one out, man.
We'll keep on rocking, man. Good start to this record. And this is 13 tracks. I don't know if I mentioned that at the start, but we'll keep trucking on. In My Command. Man, that was definitely different, obviously, than
it was a lot different
than the first tune. I like the fact, as I mentioned in the reaction a little bit, almost a tale of two songs.
Very much so.
The verses were a little bit more manic and in your face, where then the chorus had that pretty melody.
Agree.
Great vocals. I like where it went from the pretty chorus then to kind of the breakdown of the distorted guitar, and then he kind of screams out, "Desolate in anger and safe in isolation, you're about to be the victim of a holy visitation by the rights that I've been given." Just kind of gives that hard edge to that.
Yeah, and before that he said, "Put on your wings, you're responsible for everything." Then he drops what you said, and then he follows it with, "Put on your wings, you're not responsible for everything." So for me, it was an okay song. I actually liked the first one better. I'm not sure I liked the two songs in one as much, but it is an interesting way. I thought the guitar work was fantastic.
I think I lean this one actually.
Okay,
but no, I like bouncing ideas off, and it kind of seems like we like when people are under our command and control, but then there's that responsibility kind of in there, and then other times it's nice to just fly under the radar.
Yeah,
I think.
Exactly.
But anyway, now we're gonna move to track number 3.
Nails in My Feet. The only thing I know about this, it was the second single released. So usually I like to see if there's a ton of singles like this, 7.
Yeah.
Usually you go with what are the first 3 released, and that usually tells you either Crowded House or the record company or both feel like they're the strongest songs. So interested to hear this one.
Yeah, Nails in My Feet. Let's get it. What are your thoughts?
I thought that was a nice one. That was my favorite one so far.
Yeah, that was a That was great, man. I like the eerie atmosphere
Yeah, eerie is a good word to describe it.
that it set up. Just especially in the second to last verse. I woke up the house, stumbled in sideways. The lights went on, and everybody screamed surprise. The Savage review, it left me gasping, but it warms my heart to see that you can do it too. There's just a lot of almost was like an organ there, and that I think that was the part where there was that violin as well. So added to that funky,
a lot of subtlety about their instrumentation that, man, I think you got to have on the headphones to really pick it up. Otherwise, it's still going to be fine, but you're going to pick up on the nuances. So enjoyed that one. Mm-hmm. Now we'll move on to Black and White Boy. I don't know anything at all about this song. Did a little research on it. Didn't really come up with much. Sounds interesting. Let's rock this one.
Let's keep going, man. I also enjoyed the guitars on Nails in My Feet too. Just
the guitar playing is nice. Mark Hart does a fantastic job.
Different effects, it seems, on each one of these songs. To, again, add to that atmosphere. So let's see if they keep going. They're 3 for 3 in my book right now, man. So thoughts.
Lyrics, by far the best lyrics of the 4 songs so far. Is the Black and White Boy him or someone else? Not that it really matters, but showing the dichotomy of we're either really up and you're like everything seems all good, but then something happens. He even talks about the demon on you, and then all of a sudden you go to the other side, so you can be so up and down. Yeah, so I don't know if it's him and he's singing to himself or it's someone else, but great lyricism.
Yeah, I like in a room full of people. It's all sweetness and lightness you bring, in a room full of people fall to your infinite charm. But when darkness should quickly descend, you go quietly, my miserable friend. To the depths of despair you will crawl. Black and White Boy, probably my favorite set of lines.
Yeah, it's great, man.
On this record,
you're either one way or the other, man. So that's it.
And I like he mentions you're so extreme. The Black and White Boy, you're either all in, and we live in a definite extreme culture, just in a variety of different aspects. You're either all in, or sometimes you're not accepted unless you're going all in with something. But really enjoyed that one. Lovely guitar work as well. I'm really digging just the sound that kind of had the most this time period, mid-90s alternative rock sound to it.
I thought the song was fine. I mean, I didn't love it, but I love the lyrics, and so that elevates it up here with some of these others. Now we're going to go to Fingers of Love. Single went to 25 in the UK. Guitarist Mark Hart said it's his favorite song to play. He states it's because of the full sound of the song, but also because he has an extended guitar solo. So I like it. Mark's like, yes, my favorite because I get to play a lot.
I get to go and really rock out with it. All right, so Fingers of Love, we're already on track 5. Let's see what we got. Fingers of Love. I've noticed they like to kind of do 45-second to a minute outros.
I noticed that too. Now, I mean, I thought the guitar solo was going to be like just
great,
but maybe he plays more of it in the concert. Because I was like, okay,
it was pretty short. I mean, it was a good solo, but it was short.
But it was understated and pretty short. But on this one, I love the ambiance and the atmosphere it sets.
That's what I've noticed through these.
I don't think the lyrics are nearly as good. I mean, I'm sure they have some sort of place they're going, but it almost seemed like they were just rhyming some things at times. So some of it's okay, some of it's a little for me on the songwriting, but I thought the atmosphere of it was good. So I haven't had a song yet that I didn't really, like. I think they either hit on the atmosphere or the lyrics.
Yeah, no,
at least on every song.
I think that's a great point. Really, just enjoy this song gave me a little bit of Smashing Pumpkins vibes in the melancholy era.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But with just obviously a more understated and softer singer than Billy is a lot of the time. So I enjoyed this one as well. Wouldn't be a favorite up to this point, but the solo in there was neat, and the ending kind of had a little trip hop vibe to it the last minute or so. So I dug that one, man, and we're gonna go now to track number 6, Pineapple Head.
Now I am not expecting a ton lyrically here, and that's okay because Neil's son Liam uttered several of the phrases that would become lyrics when he was sick with a fever.
Ooh, okay.
Now Trey, get ready, man, because the notes I read said this song resembles musically Norwegian Wood by the Beatles, and we are definite Beatles guys here. So that is a tough thing for somebody. If I was them, I'd be like, please don't put that out there.
Wonder if we'll have the sitar.
Sitar? I don't know.
I thought I noticed a little sitar on maybe the third track, maybe Nails in My Feet, one of those. So maybe they utilize that
I don't know.
here.
Let's see what's going on here.
All right, Pineapple, and I like the name. I'm
Pineapple Head. Yeah, you're like, okay, let's do it.
Expecting him to say, "I once had a girl," or should I say, "She once had me." At the start, it did have that.
The start was definitely some Norwegian feel to it. This was also released as a single. I don't know if I mentioned it at the start. No charting info on it, but what'd you think?
I dug it. Not not a highlight for me.
No, it was okay for me. That little riff you were talking about, it was the best part of the song.
Yeah,
it stuck in my. It wasn't a bad song. Just it was okay for me.
And it seems here maybe. Obviously, it seems like there's a lost love, sleeping alone for pleasure. Then you have the Pineapple Head. You get the name drop of the song. It spins and it spins like a number I hold. Don't remember if she was my friend. It was a long time ago. So I don't know. It seems like a lost love or a breakup from a while ago was still. I don't know, still making his head spin in a sense.
Yeah, that might be a good take. I don't know. I'm glad. It's cool that we got his son's stuff in there. Now we're going to go to Locked Out. This went to number 12 in the UK, so it was the most successful single in the UK from this album. Only went to 79 in Australia. I'm sure I've heard this song, Trey, because it's on the Reality Bites movie soundtrack.
See, I watched that a month ago, yeah.
And I spun this soundtrack a lot, but I don't remember the song. And it was, 1993, 94.
It's been a minute.
Not sure that I'll even remember it when I hear it. Interestingly enough, the cover artwork for the single features the four members of Crowded House in a mirror image, including Mark Hart. It's the only cover that Hart has ever appeared on. I don't know.
Interesting.
Is interesting. So I wonder if I'm going to hear this and go, yeah, man, I know this, or no way.
Locked Out. Let's get it, man. That one was heat, man. I dug that one.
Yeah, that one was really good. It's 3 minutes 17 seconds, but he finished singing at like 2:37. So you called it. You said during the song, this is the most single sounding song. It just had a great vibe and also a difference. Even though it's a straight rocking song, this is really the first song that's come at you in a straight, quick manner like that, and they really pulled it off nicely.
You're right, and kind of carrying off from Pineapple Head a little bit with his girl is obviously kind of gone. He's been locked out, so to speak. So he even notes, yet I've been locked out and I know we're through, but I can't begin to face up to the truth. And I wait so long for the walls to crack, but I know that I will one day have you back. He holds that optimism out.
Gotta have the optimism, man.
Even though, he can't even face the truth itself. So that was definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was really good. All right, next up is Private Universe. Released as a single in Australia, only went to 46, but I'm expecting pretty big things, Trey, because this is the only Crowded House song to ever appear on all their compilations and live albums. So obviously they think incredibly highly of it, so it ought to be good. And it's a much longer song than the other ones we've done, 5:39. So.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to this. Let's keep this going. Private Universe. That ending drum thing kind of reminded me of the TV show Survivor a little bit.
That's a good point.
It could have fit on. For that one, the percussion just stood out to me as probably the best on the record. As for the song itself, didn't blow me away.
Didn't either. I like the ambiance of it. I think I like the ending. I like the Indian instrumental outro. It could have been a little shorter, just from the fact the song's 5 minutes and 39 seconds long, and it's a 13-song album.
Yeah.
So every little bit, that you can, you still want that in there. It's got a purpose. It sets an ambiance, maybe just a little shorter. But I thought the song itself was good. I liked his vocal delivery, but it wasn't it wasn't a blow-away for me.
Coming from Locked Out, which was a bit more rocking and pop centric and whatnot, I can tell they wanted to do a left turn, so to speak. Probably in the track listing here, have the I agree. Different, more organic type sound in this tune. So if you're a Crowded House diehard, man, don't attack me. This definitely, I can see this one growing.
Yeah, I can too. I can actually see that for this whole album because I really like the way this album sounds. But we're gonna go from a 5:40 song to a 2 minute 55 second track called "Walking on the Spot." That's all I know about it, Trey. So,
all right,
let's rock this thing out.
Go from longest tune to shortest. Walking on the Spot. Again, another Every one of these tunes seems to have, even though it has some obvious common musical threads in
Right.
it, like this one, yeah, the accordion I believe was in here, and then the obviously the harmonizations was kind of the unique feature of this song.
Yeah, basically just the piano rock in there, and then everything else comes in. So going into an album that's 13 tracks long, I always go, can I get it to 10? I just got it to 12 because I don't really like that song. It's fine.
yelling,
I mean,
yeah.
I didn't hate it. I like their sound enough. I think it'd be hard for me to hate a song.
Yeah.
But I could have done without that one. It's fine. I mean, it's 255. Not bad. Might grow on me, but
Yeah, this had a definite more softer side to it.
Yeah.
I didn't dislike it per se either, but it wouldn't be one of my favorites on here because a lot of the other songs before this were just a little more interesting to me musically.
Yeah,
But
agreed.
I do like some of the lyricism here.
Yeah.
Obviously, it seems heartbreak's a little bit of a theme that I'm noticing
Yeah.
as we're going through here. Walk around your home, pour yourself a drink, fire one more torpedo, baby, watch the kitchen sink. You're lounging on the sofa, see the living room die. The dishes are unwashed, so that's not good. But they're also broken. All you do is cry. So kind of the 1-2 punch there.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than dishes that are unwashed. But yeah, they're broken too. Come on, man. But now we'll move to the next track, Distant Sun.
first single release.
Okay.
So we're going to go with what I said earlier. Maybe this one's going to be really good. 19 in the UK, 23 in Australia. So we didn't have a whole lot of chart success, but we released 7 singles. But
Yeah.
we have chart consistency.
Yeah, definitely.
Just
definitely.
up there some. So
All right.
and
Distant.
this one's also this one's 350.
All right. Distant Sun, let's get it, man. For me, the theme popping out of Love Again and Love Not Quite Working, just from the first lines. Tell me all the things you would change. I don't pretend to know what you want.
Yeah, it made me laugh. It's like, yeah, that's
Time and time again, time and again. No fire where I lit my spark. Where your words devour my heart and put me to shame, put me to shame. Talking about your 7 worlds colliding whenever I'm by your side. Dust from a distant sun will shower over everyone. Saying he's lying on the table, washed out in the flood, like a Christian fearing vengeance from above. I don't pretend to know what you want, but I offer love. I think that's the theme statement of this song right here.
Agreed.
Again, had some of that watery guitar in there. A little bit reminded me of some of the stuff on that A side we heard just sonically.
Yeah, it did. I liked it fine. I thought it was a pretty good song, especially if it was a traditional B side, maybe that we started it. Private Universe probably. I thought it was a pretty good song.
And now we're gonna move on to another longer track, Catherine Wheels.
Yeah, it's over 5 minutes long as well. This one was actually written by Neil with his brother Tim Finn while they were in Split Ends. And it had a different title. It was the first to say Gone. So when they worked on the final version, they brought in bassist Nick Seymour, and he gets another co-writing credit on this with the Finn boys.
Oh, nice.
He only has 5 writing credits in his entire time with
Seymour
Crowded House.
does?
Yeah, and this is
Oh,
one
okay.
of them. So
Cool beans.
that's about all I got to tell y'all.
Catherine Wheels.
All right, I got some definitions for you. Had to look it up. Catherine's wheels. The Catherine wheel is a type of firework consisting of either a powder-filled spiral tube or an angled rocket mounted with a pin through its center. Another one says a firework in the form of a flat coil which spins when fixed to something solid and lit. And then another little off meaning is a wheel with curved spikes projecting around the circumference, which could kind of a little bit be the meaning here.
Yeah, because it
It's
seems
long lyrically.
No, yeah, it seems that like we get from the first verse, Sad Claude's been sleeping around, and then it mentions as Catherine's wheels turns. I'm thinking that her husband, lover, whatever it is, been cheating on her.
Yeah.
And then Catherine's wheels are turning. Maybe it's one of those things where her name is Catherine.
I thought about that too.
It could be. So
is it that simple? But when I search Catherine Wheels, it actually has a.
I like the fact too that we look. She was always the first to say gone. And then it says she's got her Catherine Wheels on. She's gone, vanished in the night. He woke, tore the covers back, found he was empty inside. She's gone, but towards the light, watching her whole life unfold. Bruises come out dark. Maybe she's now recognizing the kind of spell or maybe abuse she was under, because it
Yeah.
says she was regarded by some as a slave. Coming in with a hot take, I like that more than Private Universe, which if Private Universe is on all their compilations, I'm sure that's not the common denominator, but I kind of like the story more in this one as well as the instrumentation.
Wow, see, I don't really care for this one.
You don't?
No,
Hey.
I delete it from the album. I mean, not that it's bad, but I mean, if I'm trying to get to 10,
Yeah, you take it out.
I take it out.
Wow.
So it's fine. I
Got
thought
some differing thoughts here,
the
man.
story was good. I thought just thought the song itself was kind of boring.
Did you? Okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
like the actual performance
music
of it.
yeah. All right. Well,
But,
maybe
I
we'll
mean-
both dig this next one. That Skin Feeling.
Yeah, written by Hester. So
Ooh, okay.
sole writing credit. So.
Paul Hester coming in. Only two
check.
songs left, so I wasn't digging that one.
I found my third song to delete. Catherine's Wheels is a lot better than this.
Yeah, this was my least favorite on
just-
the record by far.
Yeah, mine too.
I appreciate the wailing kind of on the guitar.
I appreciate the trying to be. It's vastly different, and I mean, we're gonna slam you if everything sounds the same, and then you go out here and try to do something vastly different. But it just didn't work.
It was I wasn't a fan of the outro little speaker vocals really. I think the songwriting technique was, or the lyricism, I could get what they're singing with the repetition of the I like the this, I like the that, and then going to the I love the pigment of your skin, I love the way it moves me, and then just kind of that scheme and the tune. It didn't hit a chord with me personally.
No, me neither.
But now we're going to move to the title track, Together Alone, which we actually played because I have this on my like songs list.
I see that.
It's been months and months
I don't remember
though, so I'll probably remember it, I guess, once we get started. But I remember Alan super chatted a song or for this, so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
written by Neil and Mark Hart, and also
Together Alone, Crowded House, wrapping up the bow of the record of the same name. Before we get to the favorite tracks, thoughts on this one?
I thought it was good. I thought you made a good point. So it's a great way to finish off a 13-track album. It's kind of a nice bookend with a Kari Kari, the first single.
That's right.
The first song. So I thought it kind of finished it off nicely. Good tune.
And the phrase "together alone," I guess I didn't really connect until here. Obviously two polar opposites, but hey, these people want to be together themselves, but alone, kind of away from everybody else, and that's kind of what the chant says whenever you go into English. Here we are together in a very close embrace, being together, just us alone. So our love for us, or for one another, is everlasting. Thought it was a pretty song, man, and ended off the album well, and kind of little callback with the tribal drum type things in there too.
Yeah, exactly.
So going down to our favorite tracks. For me, basic pick, but Locked Out.
Yeah.
That was one of. I'm gonna go with Together Alone, and then two more under the radar ones, Catherine Wheels, which I know you weren't crazy about, and then I also thought one of the first tunes here, In My Command, was pretty darn.
That's
cool
funny
as well.
because we only have one that's the same, and I got to cheat because I'm taking a little bit of notes during it
Yeah.
because we got 13 songs. You get a little old like me, man. You gotta keep them in mind. I thought Kari Kari, the opener, I liked it. I like Nails in My Feet, the
That was
third
another
song.
good one, yeah.
I like Black and White Boy, the fourth song, because the lyrics were great. I thought
That's right.
The musicianship was fine, but I thought the lyrics were fantastic. And then Locked Out was my favorite on there. So now we go to our overall score. And Trey, I say this every time we do one of these,
Yeah.
it seems. It's first listen. I never heard any of this. I guess we heard that last song once on a live stream. But so first listen to a song on its own is one thing. Full listen to an album, especially for a group that has a distinctive sound throughout.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely have a sound that you can identify them as. And every song doesn't sound the same. I think that takes longer to marinate. 13 tracks are tough. I also say that all the time. That's a tough call, man, because you're going to have songs that are really good.
Yeah.
Songs that are okay, and then invariably you're going to have a few that you don't really care for. And so it affects the overall score for me, especially on first listen. So I'm going to be at a 7.0 on this. Still a really good score on
No,
first.
I like that.
But I think this is a kind of sound and music that if I listened to it a lot, the score would go up because
go
I
up,
do I do like the sound.
I'm gonna be in the same ballpark. I'm gonna be at a 7.5 for myself.
Yeah.
I know we did in excess for Alan, and that's a record that I gave around a 7.5. But on further listens, it went up.
Yeah, it's tough on first listen.
You know, so I'm glad you put that caveat. I know this is one of Alan's favorites.
And we had a couple other people say how good it was when we mentioned we were doing it the other night on the live stream. So
I'm glad we were able to dive into Crowded House a little bit. Definitely a sound, just like you said, that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I was impressed with.
Very pleasant.
Impressed with the wide array of instrumentation, different types of sounds, while still keeping a sound that was kind of unique to them, as you mentioned. Even whenever they branched out a little bit, could a couple of tracks been shaved? I think so. But even if that's the case, I was still dug it, man. Still enjoyed it. Got some nice 90s vibes a little bit to it as well. Yet
Nothing wrong with that, man.
Still held up. So let us know what you think of it Together Alone down in the comments below, y'all. What are your favorite tracks and thoughts on this record? Be sure to give a shout out to our guy Alan for suggesting this to us. Always appreciate that. And as always, Dad, appreciate the research.
It's a lot of fun, man.
And until next time, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Happy listening, and we will see ya.